Why, hello there. Jacob here. And I figure I quick kind of give some, general thoughts on the Minnesota Vikings over the last, I'd say, dayish or so. So, yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. So, yeah, the reason why I really didn't make a 53-man roster video yesterday is because, well, as of now, it that video would have been outdated because, well, the initial 53-man roster I knew would be the official 53-man roster we would have going into week one. Just because, I mean, case in point, we only had 8 offensive linemen and like 6 safeties and stuff like that, which is, interesting and intriguing to see. But primarily kind of wanted to go over some more of the moves that have happened today. So let's go ahead and dive into it. So probably the first big move that was, well, intriguing to see was the Minnesota Vikings claimed off of waivers former Dolphins running back Myles Gaskins, who Brian Flores is familiar with his time in Miami. Don't really know a lot about Gaskins, but I know that he will definitely help out with our depth and our running back room and stuff like that, and he can be utilized in a lot of different ways, so I'm very, very excited to see that. Plus, again, with Dwayne McBride being cut and put on waivers and stuff like that, it's very intriguing to see just what we do there and all that stuff. But, yeah, like I say, Myles Gaskins was the first move. The second move was Jalen Reagor, who the Vikings were trying to trade away or were fielding trade calls for, was officially waived by the Minnesota Vikings in a move, again, that doesn't really surprise me because we have a lot of young receivers that are, really showing up and showing out. And in this case, it was just more of a case of numbers, too many cooks in the kitchen, blah, 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 whatever you want to say there. But Jalen Reagor was just kind of one of the odd men out, which was, again, ironic because he was part of the initial 53-man roster, which is why I don't usually do a lot of those type of videos because, again, the 53-man roster can and usually does change quite drastically over the course of, about a week to week and a half going into the regular season and all that stuff. So, again, it is what it is. It's just there's so much that changes and it'll keep changing throughout the season, while injuries happen, suspensions, trades, you name it, You're always constantly changing your roster and stuff like that, which, again, as a Vikings fan and as an NFL watcher and fan and stuff like that, I've always kind of curious to see, especially, the Vikings case in point, going in years past, the initial 53-man roster versus the final 53-man roster of the season, just how much has changed and stuff like that, because I can guarantee you it is a fair amount of change that happens from August to January. So it's always intriguing to see all that stuff. So, yeah. And then lastly, and in a kind of move that was, again, definitely needed, the Minnesota Vikings signed a backup tackle, former Buffalo Bill, David Quessenberry. And thank God we signed another backup lineman and stuff like that because, again, did I mention we only had 8 offensive linemen on the initial 53-man roster rotation? Which, if you know anything about offensive linemen, most people have about 9 or 10, give or take. So, again, we'll wait and see there what happens and, if the Vikings continue to make moves and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, right now those are probably the 3 biggest moves and stuff like that. And, yeah, like I say, a week from tomorrow, Detroit, Kansas City opens up the 2023 regular season, and I can't wait. So, like I say, next week, expect a video probably Wednesday, Thursday-ish for previewing the Vikings and the Buccaneers week 1. And we're back, baby. Skol Vikings. And, hopefully my liver, wallet, and anxiety meds are ready because we're officially back for another season. Please, for the love of God, Vikings, can we have a couple of games that don't raise my blood pressure, blood alcohol, or, pain tolerance? But, again, we'll just wait and see there. But, yeah, just a few moves that I thought I'd kind of give my opinions on. And if there's any other major moves, I'll kind of, update and stuff like that. But, like I say, after the initial 53-man rosters are made and stuff like that, you always got to wait, too, because they always change. You're always looking, you're always trading, you're always cutting, you're always adding, and all that stuff. So, until we meet again, though, this is Jacob. Have a good day.